Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? It's a Saturday night, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna play chess. So I'm gonna play one 30-minute game because it's late. I'm a little tired, a little tipsy. I've had a little bit to drink, but I really want to play a game, and I feel that right now, if I played a game while not streaming, it probably wouldn't be the best game ever. But I feel that if I am streaming, then I'm going to pay a little more attention to my moves, a little more attention to my game in general, and maybe I'll perform a little bit better. So let's see how it goes. We haven't even started yet. Okay, here we go. I am white. We found a game really quickly. We're going to do a 30-minute game, then do a analysis, and then that's it. And then I'm out of here. I swear to God. Let me see if I can load up the chat room just in case anybody decides to join us. Let's see if I can get that. Where is that at? Pop out. There we go. Oh, okay. All right. So my opponent started with, I did E4. He did E5. All right. That's very, very basic. Nothing really to see there at all. Oops, I got something playing. Let me see if I can find my own channel. Your channel live now. Find the. How can I? All right, there we go. Let's see. All right, he's attacking my pawn. Go ahead and defend the pawn. What I'd like to do is get my bishop over here to C4 so I can eventually castle. We'll see if that happens or not. I have a feeling if I had to predict a move, he's probably going to go ahead and guard this bishop, right, or this pawn on E5 with a standard D6 move. I don't think it's anything special. If he does that, I'll go ahead and stick to my plan and then hopefully look for the castling. I don't know what he's doing. All right, so he's trying to pin my knight. But you know what? Joke's on him. I'm not, he can go ahead and take that all he wants. I'll just recapture. I'll probably recapture with the B pawn. And the reason I'm going to recapture with the B pawn is one thing I've been doing lately is when I'm in situations like this, I've been tending to capture with the pawns on the outer rim of the board. With the idea being is if I can keep my pawn chain in the middle stable, then we're good. So that's one of the things I've been doing. So if he decides to take, which he did, I'm going to go ahead and take with my queen side, with my B pawn. I'm not sure what his response to that will be. I do have these stacked pawns here, which could be problematic, and he still has, nothing. But I mean, really, he's already down a piece. He's already down an entire pawn. Now he can recapture this pawn here, which he'll probably do. Because the thing is, if he recaptures and then I try to threaten, that leaves this pawn exposed and therefore exposing my queen. So how can I stave that off? How can I guard this pawn while still protecting this pawn? And I'm thinking, okay, so he's not going to do that. So I'm thinking before I castle, I do want to go ahead and push this guy up. Do I see any problems with that? I could move my queen over to protect this pawn, but I don't want to move my queen that quickly. I think if I push this pawn up, he's probably going to do something like that, in which case I will go there. So just to say square names, because I'm trying to get better with actually saying square names. So I feel if I do D2 to D3, he'll probably do D7 and D6, in which case I won't castle. I'll probably do H2 to H3 to prevent his bishop coming down to pin this knight. So let's see if that happens. All right, so we're going to push up, guard this pawn here on E4. Let's look what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm getting a text message. All right, I'm not going to bother reading that. So the pawn here on C3 is really, really vulnerable. But part of me doesn't even know if it's worth guarding. Let's take a look at my opponent. My opponent is Spack. He is 1124, same exact rating as I am. Ooh, that flag is either I mean, okay, zeroed out, like small, it almost looks Bolivian, but it could be Egyptian. I'm going to say it's Bolivian. Actually, I'm going to save that mystery for a minute. I'm going to make a move. Okay, so he did exactly what I thought he would. He pushed this pawn down. He did the d7 and d6. So I'm going to go ahead and guard this g4 square. I'm going to postponing my castle. Bad move, I don't know, but it's probably not the worst move. But let's go back to his flag. I mean, that really does look like a Bolivian flag. But it also looks Middle Eastern. All right, let's take a look. What is it? India. How can I confuse India with Bolivia? I mean, because look at this. Bolivia flag. If we look, okay, it's I know it's red, yellow, and green, and that is red, yellow, and green with some kind of emblem in the middle, okay? And this also has an emblem in the middle. So basically, the Indian and the Bolivian flags are pretty much identical. So here's the Indian flag. Here's the, where did it go? Here's the Bolivian flag. Look at that. Look how similar. You're telling me those are different flags? They're not. I mean, I'm not really good with seeing colors as it is. I can't see reds. But those look like pretty much the same flag. All right, let's see. SPAC is not moving. Okay, he has moved. So he's coming down. I think at this point, it would probably be prudent to castle. I'm pretty sure he's going to bring this up. Okay, so I'll castle. He'll push the D pawn to D6 pawn to D5. I'll take. He'll retake. And then I'll probably just retreat my bishop at that point. So let's go ahead and castle. Again, I'm fully expecting D6 to D5. And then I take with the E pawn. He recaptures with the C pawn. No, not like that. No. Okay, here we go. We got D6 to D5. Then I recapture with the E pawn. He captures with the C pawn. And then I retreat. I fully suspect that's what's going to happen. I know that's what's going to happen. Let's just wait for it to happen. I'm nearly positive that's going to happen. But what else could he do? He might do something. Let's see. He might try to bring this bishop out to intimidate my bishop. So he might do bishop to E6 to threaten my bishop, in which case, honestly, I'll just take. And then if I take, he'll have to recapture it with his F pawn, which will weaken the guard that he has on his king. So he could do that. All right, so he did exactly what I thought. He pushes with his pawn. So I'll take. Now, if he takes with the knight, which he might do, because players at this level, I feel like that would be a bad decision. Maybe it's a good decision. I don't know, because actually it might not be a bad decision, because if he takes with that knight, well, I was going to say if he took with that knight, he would be threatening this pawn, which is unguarded. But that's not the case. He did exactly what I thought he would. Now, I have a decision here. I feel almost like I want to go to B5. But then he would just come down and harass me. I go back here. He comes back down here. And then I go here. And then we're back where we started. So I'm just going to forget all that and just go back to B3 with my bishop. I'm just going to move him back. I'm not even going to bother. There's no point in waiting. So at this point, I'm not sure what he would do. He doesn't. I mean, yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Was develop his knight. Now, I feel like I need to threaten. If I go, I'm thinking about D3 to D4. He takes with this pawn. I recapture. then he takes and I take. So so I can win a pawn. I think I can win a pawn because I don't think he's going to take and take and take. Let's do that. So I expect he will recapture, in which case I will recapture with my pawn. That has the added benefit, actually, of getting rid of this, of these stacked pawns here. And this square is also guarded by my knight, or my queen and my knight, but it's only attacked by his bishop and his knight. So I don't think he's going to I think he'll probably recapture with the pawn. I'll recapture with the knight, and that'll be the end of it. But at the end of that, if he does not, so at the end of that, if my knight ends up here on d4, and he does not move this knight on on c6, then I'll probably recapture the knight, which will force him to take with this pawn. I don't know. Let's see what he does. I'm curious to see what was his name? Spack? Or SP4K. Spack. I don't know what Spack is. But it is interesting that he has the same exact rating as I do. All right. He's taking his time. Again, this is an interesting move because it makes me think. This was not something I was expecting. So, I can take my knight to e5. He attacks, I attack, and then I'm attacking that knight, which might be the best move. I mean, I obviously can't have him I can't let him have this knight. And I dangerously left the e4 square wide open, unprotected, nobody guarding it. Is there anything I can do other than what he's probably expecting, which is the knight to go here? The knight to go to e5. I don't think so. I think that's probably my best move, is knight to e5. What if he push it? No, he won't push again. Is there any way that if I do get my knight out of harm's way, I can attack this guy? Not really, because I have to, because that guy is guarded by the d5 pawn. I think the thing to do here is just to go ahead, move my knight to e5. He may capture my knight with his knight, in which case I capture his knight with my pawn. I'm not sure where he would put his f6 knight at that point. I mean, at that point, his f6 knight can only go to d7 or to h5, both of which seem like useless squares. Okay, let's go ahead and do my plan. So I've moved my knight to e5. If he does something quirky, well, what could he do that is quirky? So I was thinking, like, okay, what if he does something quirky, like threaten my knight without taking it? But the only threat, so it has two threats. It has his knight on c6, and he could potentially move his queen or his rook, threatening my knight, but neither of them would take it because it's guarded by the pawn. Okay, what if he took my pawn? No, that wouldn't work in his favor either, because then I just recapture. All right, so let's see. Okay, he's threatening my bishop. That's a move. I don't feel like that's the best move. I feel like bishops on the side of the board are really bad decisions, because now did I say bishops? I feel like knights on the sides of the board are really bad decisions. I feel like that's not good. Yes, he could win this bishop, I suppose. suppose. I mean, I'm going to leave the bishop there. I'm not going to move the bishop. So what am I going to do? What are my options? I'm thinking about moving my dark squared bishop to g5, pinning his knight. Do that. Can I get my queen into the game? Not really. Where can I move her? I can move her to d2. I can move her to e1. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of squares I can move her to safely. So I think I might leave her put. I think at this point, the best move here is pinning his knight with my bishop. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. I think I'm going to, is there anything? Well, wait a minute. What if I put my bishop here on f4? Oh, shit. I was analyzing. Oh, wow. All right. Well, I guess I'm married to that move now. All right. Well, there's that. There's that. I mean, I really wanted to pin that knight, but oh well. I gotta watch my mouse behavior. I was really just going to contemplate that move, but now I'm married to it. I have no choice. I feel like I've already screwed up now. All right, how can I use this to my advantage? What's he going to do? What can he do? There's not a lot he can do, at least. There is that. I mean, he only has one of his bishops. I have both of mine. But he has both of his knights. Huh. I would like to do something with maybe. There's not a lot he can do. I mean, maybe he'll do a useless move. Maybe he'll do something like, a7 to a6, in which case I can go ahead and pin the knight on f6 like I wanted to. I'm not really expecting that because even though we are very low rated players, we're not that terrible. It's like at this rate, at this level, you at least have some idea of the concepts. You understand some things about the game, like pinning and skewering and in forking. You understand the basic concepts of the game. So I wouldn't expect that. I would expect at this rating level, which is the same rating level as me, I would expect the poor execution of tactics. Or maybe it's not the execution of tactics that is poor. Maybe it's the understanding of the tactics that are poor. I don't know. I really don't know. It's an enigma. I'm still learning chess, but see. I really think he moved this knight to a5 with the intent of taking my bishop. Maybe he thought I would move my bishop in some attempt to save it, but not really. I mean, I know generally you should favor bishops at least slightly more than you favor knights when you're considering exchanges. But right now, I'm not too concerned about that slight advantage he would get in this exchange. I feel that it would be kind of a fair exchange. Development wise, we're probably about even. I might be slightly better if I had to guess. So his light squared bishop only has two safe squares you can move to. Then again, so does my light squared bishop, only has two. So I don't know. But I feel like I don't. Then again, his bishop is guarding this file. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Let's see what he did. So he took. He moved his b pawn. He moved his b7 pawn to b5. I really think he's coming after this bishop. He's really trying to lock this bishop in. Now I could respond with a dick move, like a2 to a4, and then he pushes. I take. That's kind of my. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now. So I do a2 to a4. He takes. I take. Where does that get us? It doesn't get us anywhere. All right, I don't like that just because it's kind of boring. So I'm thinking though that move, what that move might do. So let's see. I take. He takes. I take. I'd like to get his a5 knight off of that square because my e5 knight could easily go to c6, and that could create some problems for him. But I'm not sure how to do that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the a2 to a4, let him, and we'll just go ahead and do that exchange. If he doesn't do the exchange, which is what I'm hoping for, I'm hoping he does not do the exchange. So I push up, and then he goes b5, b4. I take with my c3 pawn. He is therefore forced to move his knight. Or lose his knight. I mean, he could choose to lose it. I don't think he would, but he could. Let's do that. So I'm going to go a2, a4, hoping. I don't know that I'm hoping he takes. He can take, or he can just push to a. He can push b5 to b4. If he pushes b5 to b4, I will take with my pawn, which will mean he has to move this knight. He will probably move it. It's a good question. Where will he move it? All right. I'm distracted by HBO here. They're advertising some horror movie. What is this? What is that? The Curse of La Llorona. All right, I'll watch that. That could be good. I like horror movies. I like you know I don't hate cheesy horror movies either. They're pretty good. They're not bad. All right, still waiting for SPAC's move. Time is not an issue right now. I have over 20 minutes left. He has 17 minutes left. And the problem also with at this level is that you risk people just abandoning the games. Okay, but he's not. So he was obviously thinking he's going to push down and then threaten my bishop. If I take, he takes with his. Okay, let's clear this. If I take, he takes with his bishop, threatening my rook. All right. So I'm thinking about. No, I can't take my knight there because he'll take with his knight. So that's not a good move. I mean, if I take, he'll take with his bishop, and that threat is still very much alive. I can push up. He takes, I take. He's still got that knight. All right. This pawn has not moved, which means if this guy's out of the picture, this pawn can still go to c4. All right. Let's think about this again. What if I push up? He takes. No, that's not a good move. It's just not a good move. But this knight is really not in the picture at all. I mean, it's guarding. It's really not guarding much. Huh. I'm really tempted to take with my a pawn. I take. He takes with his bishop. I push up. He recaptures with his pawn. I recapture with my knight. He takes with his knight. I take with my bishop. All right, I think that's the way to go. Let's do that again. I take with my pawn. He recaptures with his bishop. I push up with this pawn. He takes with this pawn. I take with this. Oh, no. Wait. It didn't work out that time. Why did it work out the first time, but now it's not working out? It's not working out now. Okay, let's try this again. I take. He takes with his bishop. That puts his bishop here on b5. Then I push up, forking his bishop and his pawn. He takes with his pawn. I take with my knight. He takes with his knight. His bishop is still there. But what have I lost and gained at that point? Well, at that point, his bishop is still threatening my rook. Okay, here's a defensive move. Here's something I'm thinking of. What if I move my queen to e2? So if he tries to push down or take, I get this bishop. That might be a good move. Because what is this queen doing right now? The queen is guarding this pawn. She's guarding the d4 pawn. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go d1 to e2. So if he pushes this pawn down, if he takes this pawn, no. I can't decide. I'm going to start running out of time. If I take with this pawn, he takes with this bishop. I push up. He's not going to recapture with the bishop because I would just take it. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So the thought here is he's going to take this bishop. He's going to take that pawn with his bishop. I'm going to push up with my pawn. He will recapture with his pawn. I will retreat my bishop. So I take with my pawn. He takes with his pawn.
But if his pawn's there, and if I retreat and then he moves down, he's now threatening my rook, which sucks. I mean, I just have to move the rook out of the way. That's really my only option at this point. There's not much I can do other than to move the rook out of the way. I fully expect him to recapture with this pawn. Is there anything else I can do? Well, wait a minute. All right. He recaptured this with the pawn. No, there's nothing else I can do. There's nothing interesting I can do. I was thinking again because this C pawn is, still has a two square move in its pocket, but what am I going to do with that? There's and possibly I can do nothing with it. So I don't know. I mean, but this is terrible. This is just really not a lot going on so far. I'm really making no real threats on his king yet. All right, so he did exactly what I thought he would. He recaptured with his pawn. I'm going to retreat my bishop. I think that's the move to do. I think at this point, I think it just makes sense to retreat my bishop. And that way, if he does move that, and he's probably going to move this. Now that I think about it, he's probably going to move that pawn down to throw. I mean, he's really after that rook. And this is another part of chess where I just kind of start to get bored and tired. So how people do this for hours, I don't know. I mean, well, that's why they're professionals at this. But it does seem exhausting. Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, his best move is to move that pawn down. When he does move that pawn down, what am I going to do? Probably just move the rook over. When I move the rook over, what is he going to do? I don't know. He pushes down. I move my rook over. Okay, so he did exactly there. I move my rook over. So I guess one thing that's nice is that I'm pinning this pawn. I had this nice beeline right at his king, which he has opened up. Now I own this diagonal. Because if he tries to move his knight here, I take, he takes, I take, I've won. So I kind of own this diagonal at this point. Though, no, never mind. I was going to say I could put my bishop here on d5, but no, I can't. All right, so he's trying to bring his queen into the game. Queens are finally getting into the game. This is also where you can go terribly wrong. Now, it would be nice if I could check his knight, or check his king with my knight, so that I could somehow win this queen. Is there any way I can do that? And I don't see a way I can do that. But I do have the advantage of being able to move this knight and threaten his king. So I can do a discovered attack. But what can I do with that? What can I win? And it doesn't help that this bishop is not guarded. I'm really thinking about just going boom. He goes boom. I go boom. He goes boom. Huh. That doesn't help anybody. I mean, I kind of have a free move on this knight, but I might want to save it. Maybe I'll just move my rook over, attacking his bishop. Where is he going to move his bishop? He can move his bishop to a4. He can move his bishop to... That's about it. All right, let's do that. I mean, it makes me feel better that we're both about equal of time. So we're both putting about equal, effort into the game. The bishop is unguarded. He needs to guard the bishop. I mean, he could do it, but he could do that with a simple, like, moving the pawn down, which is very well made, what he might do, which is probably what I would do. I'm thinking if he does do that, my next move might be the forget about it pawn. F2 to F3, he pushes down, I take. I don't know if that's okay. All right. What's he doing? Okay, so he's guarding by doing that. All right, let's look at some possibilities. If I move here, he moves his queen somewhere. That doesn't help me. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do here. This is... This queen is just so juicy. She's just like staring at me. I mean, okay, but the problem is this bishop is not guarded. So I think I'm going to guard the bishop by moving my G pawn up. What's he going to do after that? He might do something dangerous. Let's do it. YOLO, YOLO, you only live once. That's it. I'm doing it. YOLO. I want to guard this bishop because what I would like to do is maybe move this knight over here force his queen somewhere else. Let's see where she goes. I mean, you know, this D7 square would be perfect if the queen wasn't in the way. Or, well, that knight. So, okay, it's not perfect at all because it's actually guarded by like, oh, it's guarded by like 3 different pieces. So that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But I mean, I could maybe move it here, and then he moves the knight here, and then I don't know where I move. I don't know where I move anything. What if I moved my knight here? He would have to. Okay. I could maybe win a rook. I'm sorry. I could trade a rook for a knight, maybe. If I move my knight here, he has to move his queen somewhere safe. So I don't know. I don't know where. And then I can capture. Okay. Maybe I can win a rook. Maybe that's not bad. I can win a rook. Or he's going to move his queen to safety right now. Where's he going to move her? I don't know where he's going to move her. He could move. Where can he move his queen? He can move her here. He could move her here. He can move her here. Or here. Or here. Or here. Why won't these squares highlight when I... Okay. So these are the safe places he could move his queen, which are aplenty. There are aplenty of safe spaces he can move his queen. Actually, I guess C7 is probably not really safe because he's still into the same forked problem. Now, time-wise, we were under the 10-minute mark now, so it's starting to get a little interesting time-wise. And I did just realize that I have this alignment with a rook as well. So I think I can win a rook, regardless. Regardless of what happens with his next move, I think I can win this rook, or at least a rook. We'll see. I can win. I would really like to get that queen. And he's at 7 minutes. He's at much. Now he is up 1 point, so he's up a pawn. I think that probably. Let's see. I have 1, 2. I have both my bishops. He has both his knights. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns. So yeah, he is up a pawn. But again, like being up a pawn's not, up. And honestly, a lot of games I play, even if my opponent's up like 2 points, I'm not that concerned about it. When you start getting to 3 points, it's a little different. But 2 points, I'm not too concerned. I'm not too worried. It's all right. All right. So he moved his queen to safety. And actually, that was a... I was going to say, actually, it was a really bad square, but that might not have been a bad square. Okay. I did say I could win a pawn. I mean, a rook. So I can move my knight here. No. Wait a minute, Addy. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Never mind, Addy. Never mind. I can move my knight here. And I'm gonna win a rook no matter what. But at what cost am I going to win a rook? If I move my knight, let's say he recaptures. I take, he takes. So I've lost a knight and a bishop for a rook. I feel like I should at least win a pawn out of that. So I think I'm going to take here. Now, he may not take. He may do nothing. I don't know. He may move this rook out of harm's way. Let's say he moves the rook here just to get it out of harm's way. Then, yeah, I mean, well, that rook can't go too many places and not be in harm's way. So that's something. Oh, I didn't even notice this when I took the move. If he does not take my knight, I'll have a discovered check. What can I do with that? Oh, that's juicy. That's really juicy. What can I do with that? I mean, depending on what his next move is, I could take this bishop. Maybe he recaptures the queen, and then I do this discovered check so I can capture his queen. I mean, that's wishful thinking, but it's planning. It's not unheard of. But okay, so I'll have this. I'll have. No, I'll definitely have that discovered check. If he doesn't take, and if he does take that knight, whatever, so he would have to take with this rook. That rook would be pinned. All right. No. This is getting interesting. We are currently even right now, score-wise. But I could change at any second. But time is really becoming a factor, especially for him. He's at 345, 344. So, I mean, he's really just taking his time with it. He's going to have to start making some quick decisions. I'm still got a little bit over 9 minutes left, so I'm not entirely worried. Okay. So, I got this discovered check. I can win that rook. I could definitely win this rook. So, I mean, I could go here, discovered check, and then I win this rook. No big deal. That's cool. We got that. Is there something better, though? How can I coerce this queen? What if I take the bishop and then he takes? Oh. All right, let's look at other possibilities. What else do we have going on? What if I moved my knight over here? That would kind of force his king to move here to h8. He's definitely planning to attack this knight. There's no way around it. He wants to attack that knight. I think really the best thing I can do. Maybe move my bishop here. I mean, well, wait a minute. Let's explore that for a second. I move my bishop here. This square is guarded by my own knight. So if he takes, I take, and then he loses the bishop. I lose the bishop. No, I think I can win this rook for free. Not for free. I can trade the rook for a knight, which is a good trade in my favor. Let's do it. So I've got this discover check, and I'm going to go ahead and take this rook. And then he'll recapture either with his queen or with his knight. But I have won a rook for a knight, and that's a good exchange. That's a good trade in my favor. All right. So he will probably, I mean, there's no way he can like capture this knight and guard his king. So I'm not sure if he's going to pin his own rook, which would be great for me, because then he loses basically effectively, at least for the time being, he loses 2 rooks. I really think he's just going to move his king. He's just going to move his king over to h8. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. So I take the rook. And he recapture with his queen. I mean, at some point, I really should get my own queen into the game, you would think. Now, this bishop is kind of vulnerable, only guarded by the queen, which I know he probably wants to do like effective things with the queen. How can I coerce that queen? I don't know. I don't know that I can. I am thinking about maybe pushing my bishop here just to harass this guy. No. I want to harass. Maybe I want to harass this bishop or this castle. So I move my bishop here, threatening this castle. He probably just comes here to be a smartass. And then I can move my bishop here just to be annoying. I like being annoying. I think that's what I might want to do. Is there a better move though? This bishop still has this nice diagonal here. Yeah, I think I'm going to move. I feel like that's almost a useless move, though. Let's do it. Let's YOLO it. And he's probably going to guard, moving his rook over here to harass my bishop. Is there any way I can guard my bishop otherwise? I don't see one. So I think at that point, the best thing to do would just be to move my bishop back. I still think he's probably going to want to move his knight over here to c4 at some point, because this bishop is still, but that bishop is pinned, actually. Now that I think about it, that bishop is pinned because his queen is lined up with my rook. So let's say I move here. All right, no, he did exactly what I thought he would. But he's got a minute 21. I almost feel like I can just win this on time at this point. I'm not too threatened. But let's stick to my plan, which was this right here that guards this. Let's just do that. It threatens this pawn. I mean, he's also very vulnerable for a back rank mate at this point. Yeah, no, I'm not sure where he's going to go. Okay. He's threatening this guy. And then I'll take this bishop. It's essentially a free bishop. All right. Now, I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to take my pawn? I don't think he will, because then I would just recapture my bishop and then. All right, that I didn't even see that because I'm an idiot. But how did I not see that? All right, whatever. It doesn't matter. I've won this game. Hmm. Let's just start pushing up with pawns. What's he going to do? He's going to take. Then I take. He's got 28 seconds left. He's hurt for time. I've got 4 minutes left. I'm just not that concerned. There he goes. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. I've got this game. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All right, he moved. I mean, it's kind of insulary at this point. Is that a word? Insulary? What's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of meaningless at this point. It doesn't matter much. Here. How about that? That's an annoying move. Go ahead. Take my rook. And then there we go. Game. I won. 14 points on me. Booyah. Booyah. I won that game. This was mine to lose, but I didn't lose. I won. All right, let's do an analysis really quick, and then I'm going to go to bed because I'm pretty tired. I just want to see like how I did stats-wise. Let's see. Analysis is completing, and my opponent SPAC. All right, my opponent SPAC did better than me. He had a 63.3% accuracy compared to my 61.7% accuracy. I had a missed win. I had 2 blunders compared to his 2 blunders. I had 4 mistakes compared to his 3 mistakes. 3 inaccuracies compared to his 7. Book moves were about the same. Good moves, I had slightly better. I had a few more excellent moves. He had 1 more best move than I, and neither of us had any brilliant moves. I really want to know what this best win was that I missed. Okay, so I had a best win. I could have won. What? I move here. I mean, if I move here, what is he? He moves here. I move here. All right. Yeah. No, that was a missed win. Let's do the retries. All right. So this was a long time ago. I don't remember what I did here. I think I pushed up with my pawn. Is that what I did? I did. I pushed up with my pawn. The computer says there's a better move. I bet the computer is saying probably pushed up with this pawn. Nope, that's not it. What's the computer say? That's better. No. Wait. How does that work? No. I'm too tired. I think it was a good game. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. If you're watching, thank you. I don't think anybody was, but I had fun. I had a good time just thinking I was on camera and like somebody would be watching and thinking, and that caused me to do better in my game. So if that actually helped me, thank you to nobody except myself, because I did it all in my own head. So I'm pretty awesome, and I'm going to go to bed. Everybody, have a good night. So long. Goodbye.